Hey guys, Tom Cherryholmes here with the FujiNet project, and I wanted to give another real-world example of using the end device to replace a game on one of my games disks. In this case, I want to take and replace a copy of Apple Panic, which doesn't seem to be loading, with one from the HomeSoft collection, which is over on atari-apps.irata.online. I will use the end device to make that copy directly from within the disk utility package without having to use an intermediate step of moving it from point A to point B. To start off with, we need to take and put my games disk in the correct place, but we also need a copy of MyDOS, since my games disk actually boots by itself. We'll start by going over to my SD card and picking up a copy of MyDOS, putting it in the first disk slot. We only need it read-only, so we'll just press return. At which point I can then press backspace to go back to the parent directory, select Games 1A, which is my games disk, place that in drive 2, but since I want to alter the content on this disk image, I will mount it read-write. Now, this is all I have to do from within config itself. I can, at this point, basically go ahead and boot the result. And in a few moments, MyDOS will present its disk utility package menu because I've held down the option key. On the first disk is my MyDOS directory with my MyDOS disk with all of the FujiNet tools that we need, which in this case are going to be the N tools, NCD, NDIR, and NCopy. We also have NDev if we wanted to take and do this over N, but I'm going to use the N tools here by themselves just to show how this actually works. On the second disk here, we have our game disk here, and all of the games that I have here, it's a large disk that's 65,535 sectors, and each of the games are alphabetized, each in their own folder. The file that we're looking for is over on Atari Apps. And actually, if we go ahead and load a copy of NDIR, we can see it. Since we're running NDIR by itself, it's giving us the ability to enter a path. And I will do so. Pardon me, I'm going to scoot over here a little bit now over to my other machine here so I can get closer to the keyboard. We provide a full device spec here since I haven't set a prefix or anything. And if we take a look at the top level of atari-apps.irata.online, we will see a handful of folders. Looks like some of the bits and pieces that I'm working on in the network code are somewhat corrupted. Ah, darn it. Bugs, bugs, bugs. Things I'm working out, but we will trudge forward anyway. We see a games folder, so that's where we need to concentrate our energy. Since this is MyDOS, when it exits, it reloads the disk utility package. We load NDIR. In this case, I'm going to use NCD. And we're going to set our directory prefix automatically. And this time, when we do an NDIR, we are actually going to see the same result here. Yes, I need to see what I've broken here, but we move onward. So, we need to go to Games. And I'm doing this at each individual step so you can see the process of how I'm traversing these folders and doing what I need to do. We use NCD again, and this time we go to games. And since I don't provide a full device spec, it's going to add this onto the end of what I've already typed. And if we do an NDIR again, we'll see HomeSoft and A8P right where we need to. We want to go into the HomeSoft directory. Now, HomeSoft is very similar to my game disk in that there is a directory for each letter of the alphabet, in addition to a directory for disk-only titles. I'm not going to take and show this next step here, but just going to go ahead and skip ahead and change directory into the A directory under HomeSoft. And to do that, we use NCD again. And we go to HomeSoft, and we go to the A directory. Now, once we've actually done this, we can use the NDIR tool to find what we need. In this case, I know I want to copy Apple Panic, so I will go ahead and use NDIR to find it. And we see it's right there, Apple Invaders and Apple Panic. Let's go ahead and copy it. For that, we'll use the ncopy command to do so. All we have to do, since we're already in the right place, we specify for N, and we go ahead and copy it. Since this is a single file, I go ahead and type out the entire file name, and I copy it to drive 2 in the A folder. And I know the name of the file I want to replace is applepan.com. So we go ahead and do just that. Now, since this file already exists on drive 2, it deletes it, and that's just CIO opening the file for write only, and then proceeds to copy the file over the network. So now that it's done, you can see we've pushed back into MIDOS, and everything is good. Now I can go ahead and test the result. I can go ahead and use the disk swap feature on FujiNet to put the games disk into the first drive, and I can immediately go ahead and do a cold start. We come in here, we come down to Apple Panic, and we'll see that it boots up just fine. So you see right there, the end device, especially once they get all of the weird little edge cases and bugs out of it, is a very useful tool for copying things directly from the network over a variety of protocols. TNFS, FTP, and HTTP, and eventually protocols like SMB, NFS. I would love to do a protocol adapter or even somebody to do a protocol adapter for Google Drive. That would be great. So you can already see, and I'm hoping by showing all of these different examples, I can get into the mind of every FujiNet user the possibilities of this end device and really what makes it different from what has come before. And with that, I will leave this video right here, and I will say, as always, until next time, guys, have fun.